Alright, September 5th, 2016. Finalist of the night, Evil Swarm, piloted by Steve. This will be a update to his previous deck profile, which has reached over 6,000 views.
Yes, the T-Dill edition. So I appreciate everyone who's viewed and liked my video of my last Evil Swarm deck. I hadn't intended for it to be like meta, top tier, or anything, but I guess it helps somewhere, especially with the blue eyes running around.
True,
so let's get down to business.
All right.
For starters, 3 Heliotrope is standard. 3 Castor, standard. Also standard is 3 Carries. I run 2 Mandrake myself, just to get more monsters on board, because this plus any other Evil Swarm is Ophion. 1 T-Bird. I think this is kind of optional, but I just like having a monster that can just like bounce itself off the field and then come back like that. Run away. It really helps with the board control. 2 Maxi. I missed that it went down to 2, but it can make do, I guess. And the Rescue Rabbit. Standard.
So that's our monster lineup.
Yeah, that's the monster count. And there were spells. I run 2 Allure. I know Allure is at 3, but I've been shaky on like actually running 3 because it takes away from my resources to have to use it, right? Because I have to banish an Evil Swarm or something. But I don't know. 2 has worked for me. 2 Pandemic is just for Ophion feed and then just to get materials in the grave and to protect Evil Swarms depending on what my opponent's back row looks like. 2 Instant Fusion. Normally I'm good with just 1. I just go like Norden plus Evil Swarm, make like Trap Tricks for Flesia to help protect my Ophion, like turn 1. I do have Darkfire Dragon in the extra deck, which you'll see, which I also use with Instant Fusion just in case. It nets me Evil Swarm Nightmare and Master Key Beetle if I ever need to go into those. 3 Pot of Desires. This deck completely changed like the playability for Evil Swarm because like those 2 cards that you net will make all the difference, especially if you play like a heavy trap lineup. Evil Swarms are capable of searching and special summoning things that they need straight out of their deck, so they don't get hurt too much with Pot of Desires. However, I would be careful after using the first one, because chances are if you try to use the second one and like banish like half your deck by then, you may not be able to get out of that scrape. But like just 1 like really changes the tide of the game. Raigeki, pretty standard. It helps get rid of the monsters that Ophion cannot get rid of on its own. I mean, 2550 is pretty big for a monster, but sometimes you have things like somebody played the Blue Eyes already, and then you just like zap them off the field with Raigeki. Rhoda, standard. I missed when they had like 3 Rhodas, so I could net Castor like turn 1 and play Ophion that much quicker, but I think I understand why it had to go to the 1. 2 Twin Twisters. I play it for our format because there's a fair amount of back row that goes around, especially Floodgates. Excuse me, so it helps to have Twin Twister in the main deck just in case there's back row that pops up. And 2 Unexpected Die. This is really good. This is like the new Rhoda, because this just nets you like the Evil Swarm monster you need. So that's like 1/2 of the equation to make Ophion. Like,
Yeah, it comes up quite unexpected.
Yeah. The only reason I don't run 3 is because of its activation condition. I cannot control any monsters, so like if I draw into this while I have a monster on the field, then it's pretty much dead. So I just like to have enough of this, but not too much. And that's my spell lineup. Traps, I ran 4 trap holes. Bottomless, Floodgate, Time Space, and Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. I think I went into Bottomless, Floodgate, and Time Space the most. Trap Hole Nightmare didn't really see any play, but was there just in case. I have this mainly for the Rafflesia play because it's pretty easy to get into Rafflesia. So when my opponent tries to make a move, then I can just drop one of the trap holes from my deck and activate its effect. That really helps because otherwise Ophion often doesn't have a way to get around effect monsters. And when Evil Swarm first came out, effect monsters were the #1 way to kill Ophion, and that was tragic. Oh, actually I'll keep these out. I also have Infection. One is pretty standard. It's really easy to search, so it's not like you really need more than one. Although I have played 2 in previous builds. I'd really leave that up to the player. 3 Solemn Strike. Oh, and Solemn Warning. So Solemn Brigade. Solemn Strike really changed the way that you could play Evil Swarm, because before, like I said, effect monsters were the #1 way to kill Ophion. Because at the time, Infestation Pandemic made Ophion immune to spells and traps, so there was no way you could beat it that way. But, so, back in the day, you couldn't play Ophion because of Fire and Ice End. Like, you kill those and then they just pop your Ophion and you have no monsters. Solemn Strike allows you to get around like every effect monster that might threaten Ophion and then just like kill it. And then you can just like keep your Ophion safe on the field and be that guy or girl, depending. And
or lesbian.
Which we're all for, by the way. Just saying.
And last, Vanity's Emptiness. Evo Storms they're really good with Floodgates. Like I know some builds play like macro, like straight in the main deck. That's not really me because macro is specific to certain strategies, and it also hurts me. So I generally just like to go with the Emptiness. It's the most standard Floodgate you'll go for anyway.
And that's our trap lineup.
Yep. On to the side deck. Or no, not side deck, extra deck. Extra deck. So my 2 fusion targets, Darkfire Dragon and Elder Entity Norden. Norden's pretty standard. Summon, overlay. Darkfire Dragon, I just have just in case. I was really debating like what to put for my other fusion target. I mean, I tried Thousand Eyes Restrict, but because it's level 1 and my deck has no way to get rid of it, like once it's out, I just decided not to do that. But everybody else, Dweller, Castel, those are pretty standard. Emerald, this didn't see any play, but I have it just in case I need to recycle things. Fortunately I didn't, so that was good for me. The Evil Swarm Brigade, Bahamut, Nightmare, and 2 Ophions. So 2 Ophion is pretty much the boss monster. This is like pretty much what the whole deck revolves around. You want to protect your Ophion at all costs and make sure you draw what you need, or you search for what you need. So like the infections and the pandemics. Nightmare I just keep in the back. It didn't see play in this tournament, but it helps for if your opponent has anything smaller than level 5. Bahamut is more of a tech card for me. I mean, I just like it because it can permanently control an opponent's monster. I used it in last Saturday's tournament, but I didn't need it for this round. And some other Xyz monsters, Gaga Cowboy, clinch games. Right, like if your opponent has 800 or less life points and you want to just like end the game, then boom, Cowboy. Key Beetle, this didn't see any play either, but I just had it just in case I needed to protect my floodgates, like Vanity's Emptiness, Macrocosmo, Soul Drain. Key Beetle would be good for that. Rafflesia was the other Xyz monster that saw a lot of play. I could make it turn 1 with Instant Fusion Norden, and it could like sit side by side with Ophion. And if my opponent tried to do anything, I'd just like detach, trap hole, and then I'd be pretty good. And then Utopia Ray. This really helps for the Evil Swarm game because they don't have anything stronger than 2550 afterwards. They can just go like Utopia Ray, Detach, 5000. I've been able to end games with this, like going from 8000 to 0 just because of Utopia the Lightning's ability to boost itself all the way up to 5k.
And you wouldn't play one of the other Utopias, so you can use his ability twice?
I thought about it. I mean, I have like Utopia Prime, but and Ray. Yeah, Utopia Prime and Ray, but like when you're squeezing for extra deck space and there's stuff that like can be slightly better, you don't usually need to use Utopia the Lightning to fight more than once. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's just like decision making on the player's part. And F-Zero Utopic Future.
They should just call it FU, like seriously.
Yeah, that wouldn't be age appropriate though, especially when children play this game. This did not see play. It might have, depending on how my field played out. I just wanted to have this in the back just in case. Like if I had 2 Xyz monsters that couldn't get over like a big monster, like for my matchups I had Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. So so if I had like 2 Xyz monsters that couldn't get over that, like 4K beater obviously, then I could just put them together maybe and then make like Utopic Future and then just have that option. I mean, it's just like having the right cards at the right time pretty much.
Right.
So extra deck you pretty much build accordingly, but this is pretty standard.
Okay.
Like play me.
So that's the extra deck, and now we're going into the side deck.
Yep. Side deck. 2 Veilers.
Yes.
Again, because Ophion dies to effect monsters, so you always want to make sure you have effect monster nullification on the side. Dark Hole, just in case there's those big monsters that I couldn't get over. This would go really good with Soul Drain or Macrocosmos, and like the Dark Hole and take out like all the Burning Abyss or the Yang Zings. I saw Yang Zing, so that would have helped with that. Third copy of Twin Twisters. I like it because I hate Floodgates. Evil Swarms hate Floodgates, so you don't want to run like Spell Trap Destruction. 2 Chaos Trap Holes. This is really good in the Monarch format when like someone was almost sure to drop like Idea. This does help with the Blue Eyes to some extent, like when they try to drop the big Blue Eyes. Actually, everything in there is a big Blue Eyes, but you know. Drowning Mirror Force.
Oof.
Like this is pretty game changing. It was kind of MVP. It helped me win the final match when my opponent had Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, and I had no way to get over it except if they declared a direct attack. Then I had the surprise Drowning Mirror Force, and that really turned the game in my favor. 3 Light Imprisoning Mirrors. I hate Blue Eyes. I was sure Blue Eyes was going to be a thing, but maybe soon. We all have to get the cards. We're all going to go rip open Megatins. Macrocosmos, one of Evil Swarm's favorite Floodgates, because they can play around it, but a lot of other decks can't. When I think about it, I probably should have put Dimensional Fissure, so that I have like the Banishment Floodgates, but that's hindsight now. Soul Drain, same thing. Like Macro, Dimensional Fissure, Soul Drain like is a good side trio for Evil Swarms, because like they can just sit under Ophion and like be pretty okay with like having these on the board.
Yeah, that Soul Drain is good for the Yang Zing matchup too.
Yeah, actually that's what won me my Yang Zing match. And then Stygian Dirge. Yeah. This is pretty much for the rank 4 centric strategies. Or I had PK Fire in mind for this too. PK Fire wasn't a thing for this tournament, so it didn't really see play. That was my entire sideboard.
Alright. And what was your favorite matchup of the night, or the most challenging, or whatever?
The most challenging was the Infernoid player.
He's pretty awesome, I gotta
Yeah,
admit.
the Infernoid player. He's been playing the deck for a while, and he knows how to utilize like turn 1 or turn 2. Because generally Infernoids want to go second, but he's gotten to where like he can be okay going first with Infernoids and like drop stuff like Cyframe Omega or like fill his whole board depending on what he draws.
Yep. All right, well, that's it for this week, folks. We'll see you on Saturday.